Hi everyone, welcome to Camille's Holistic Health Show. I'm Dr. Camille or Dr. Cam. Today we're going to talk about homeopathy and how it can really help you with if you are suffering with thyroid imbalance, and if you are a woman that suffers with thyroid imbalance for many years. Uh, this is something that a lot of women are going through. And if this is a video that you really are interested in, or any other videos that I have out, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that bell so every time a new video comes out, you will be notified. And I'm not sure if you know anything about homeopathy, and if you have, you might be on the unsure of how homeopathy works, and you might have heard a lot of negative things. You might have heard a lot of positive things. It all depends. And I always say, if you haven't tried something, don't knock it. It's almost like if you don't know anything about a certain food, you should try it, taste it first to see if you like it, and to see if it agrees with you, and to see if it actually helps you in some way. Uh, Natural medicine is kind of like that, and homeopathy is definitely one of those medicines that are out there that a lot of people know about in other countries, especially, and other people that don't know about that. And people in America is some do know about it, and if they do, they are not sure, and they sometimes think that homeopathy is an herbal medicine that is actually like an, an herb. And herbs and homeopathy are much different. It's like day and night. Homeopathy is a tincture that is been succussed, and herbal medicine is much different. It's been soaked in its root, or an herb in its bark, or a flower, and it's been saturated with a certain alcohol or a tincture that is they put in a dark area for some time. And homeopathy goes through a different process. So it's a different process for different medicines, and they work much different. So that's definitely one thing about homeopathy that many people don't know about. And another thing is that how homeopathy came about. Um, they're both very old. One is much older than the other. I would say herbal medicine is much older, and homeopathy is, been founded by a man, Hahnemann, a German, Samuel Hahnemann, many centuries ago, and in Germany. And he is definitely somebody who felt like alternative medicine is more of a milder form of a way to get people to have less side effects. And that's why, or that's how homeopathy came to be. It is a very uh, effective, non-toxic type of medicine that is also through frequency, and that's just an energy, because our body works with energy as well. And it gets the body into a natural form or natural state that it is meant for your body to be in. Okay, and that is how most alternative medicines, from Chinese medicine to Ayurveda to herbal medicine to homeopathy. And homeopathy is, I think, really really effective for women since we are very sensitive and our bodies work in a much different way than males. So that is why I think a lot of women are also drawn to alternative medicine, and a lot more are being drawn to it to help with a lot of their problems. Um, and it just keeps a lot of people are getting on board with alternative medicine. And let's just go into the thyroid and a little bit about how, you might be affected. Iodine is something that is probably something that you may know that is also a building block that is important for the function of our thyroid. And when that is not functioning well, then we go into an imbalance, and a lot of the hormones might be expelled more or less in our blood. And a lot of these things affect our body temperature, our metabolism, okay, how we eat. We might, get extremely hungry. This is why we gain weight. Or we may not feel like eating, and that's why we lose weight. It's also important for growth production. This is thyroid hormone, the brain, okay, and how it functions, our energy, and our neurological system, okay, our nervous system. And when it comes to the different types of problems that can go wrong with the thyroid, we were talking about hypothyroidism, and that's an underactive thyroid gland. And a hyperthyroid is an overactive. Then there's also an inflammation in the thyroid, and that could be thyroiditis. And then we have Hashimoto's. That's more of an autoimmune. If you have that, then you understand. And then we have thyrotoxicosis. That is related to Graves' disease. And that's opposite of Hashimoto's. So we could go on because there are other things, an adenoma, and that's related to an overproduction of thyroid hormones again. We also mentioned Graves' disease and a goiter, okay, and that often is a nodule, a lumpy nodule or an enlarged thyroid. And that happens when people often eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables. And they don't know that that can actually affect their thyroid. So let's go into 4 reasons why I think homeopathy can really help you with your thyroid imbalance, especially if nothing else seems to be working for you. Number one, toxic medications can really, as we know, give a lot of other complications. And if that's something that you want to talk to your doctor about and incorporate something like homeopathy, then go ahead and consider that. It's always a good way to consider something if you are considering another option. So medications like lithium can also be excessive, causing an over excessive production of thyroid gland or the thyroid secretion of the thyroid gland. And these are common prescriptions that people use that alongside other medications or just in one medication that they may be taking. And this can be harmful for the imbalance of your thyroid. So that is definitely a reason to consider homeopathy, because it is something that you can consider if you are using something that might be affecting your thyroid gland, like medications. Homeopathy can also treat the root cause of your thyroid conditions. When a correct remedy is provided to you and selected after evaluation and analysis, then these remedies can actually stimulate your thyroid gland to start a production of thyroid hormones in the correct way. So this is something that's an experienced homeopath can really help and regulate your thyroid hormone to lower the symptoms that you have been suffering with for quite some time. So also the third one is that homeopathy is a safe and it's very gentle and very effective on the body. When you look at the increase uh, or increased doses of medications that are on the market today, you will begin to really realize that the impact that it can have on the body system after quite some time, especially if you're taking something for a long-standing time. More gentle inside with things with less side effects and are, a more safer approach will really help um, with the the essential parts of your body when it's related to your thyroid gland. And homeopathy can also be taken with other conventional medicines. That's also something to consider. Your physician, whoever is taking care of your health for you, get them to, they might even be a homeopath, so, or they might even supply homeopathy. Ask them about homeopathy. This is very, very safe, very effective way to incorporate part of your wellness plan. Okay, and number four is that homeopathy can be provided as a specialized, individualized care for your needs. And whether you have an underactive or an overactive or an enlarged thyroid gland, homeopathy can really stimulate the correct amount of hormones in your body and, and how much it needs to be provided for your thyroid gland to actually go back into balance. Okay, so remember that you have a very high risk uh, of thyroid disease if you have been exposed to radiation, you have a family member with thyroid disease or an autoimmune disease, you are a menopause stage of your life, you are female, you are taking maybe lithium or a drug similar to it, you have an autoimmune disease, or you have a family member with one, like I had mentioned, and you are diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Okay, so these are where you are in high risk of having thyroid disease. And also, it's also important to know that if you're pregnant or you were pregnant before, then these are symptoms to be aware of if you are having any unusual symptoms. You may want to check your thyroid out. And you have either pituitary or endocrine disorder. Also take a look at your thyroid, because this is something that a lot of people don't, um, doctors don't go into detail. So ask about integrative doctor, integrative practitioner that can actually help you pinpoint exactly different types of ways to really get your, find out the root cause of your thyroid imbalance, because there's so much more than just the TSH in your, the levels. There's so much to go into that can help you get the proper diagnosis. I really hope this really helped you get a little more insight on homeopathy, a little more insight on alternative medicine. And just remember that if you are suffering with some autoimmune chronic condition for a long-standing time, they are different ways, very positive ways that you can really optimize your health, optimize your wellness, and really get to the root cause, because there are paths and it's important to follow your unique, specialized path, because what's different, what's, uh, for someone may not be for you, and vice versa. So it's important to follow your unique voice, have your unique voice, have your unique path in mind, and go down that path, and don't be afraid to do that. Okay, thanks so much, and go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. um, Hit that bell also and get notified every time I have a new video out, and I'll have more of these videos very, very soon. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye now.